Hey everybody, it is day 3 of the carnivore diet. Almost said virus. Anyway, what have I noticed so far 3 days into this? Well, yesterday, after I filmed the video, I forgot about all the spices and the sauces and the hot sauces that are bad for you. And I started looking at the ingredients. And I started looking online at the ingredients that are bad. And I started looking at all my hot sauces. A lot of them hit the trash. I was looking at barbecue sauces. A lot of them had silicone dioxide in them. Horrible. Anything silicone is not good for you. Natural flavoring is not good for you. Shouldn't have natural flavoring if it's blueberries. Should just have blueberries in the container. They shouldn't be say it's natural flavoring. That's scary. So I went through that. I went through a bunch of spices. I went through all my sauces and marinades and rubs. And I threw away thousands of dollars worth of stuff. I think on this diet, that was the hardest thing for me to do. Because it was just literally just taking money and dumping it in the garbage pail. A lot of stuff wasn't open. I wouldn't give it to somebody else. Why should I poison them with the same shit that I don't want to take because it's bad for you? So my only way of coming to a realization of it is, okay, so it might have cost me thousands of dollars for that stuff and I just threw it out, but I don't have to buy it again. So I'd save thousands of dollars for the rest of my life. Instead of buying, one container of spice that's $25 every other month, now I don't have to buy it anymore. So I save so much money right there and focus on putting that money towards the stuff that you should be eating. So, get straight to the point. On day 3, I have a lot more energy, and I know it's going to definitely incline. I haven't had any diarrhea or any weird bathroom situations. I don't like the smell of non-meat food products, which is really funny. So, that's been definitely inclining. So, on tonight's meal, we have black Angus steak that was cooked on my Blackstone in bacon grease. Very tasty. Nice medium rare. Still has the blood in it. Also on the side we have strips of bacon too. And I have 2 eggs, hard-boiled eggs that are split in half that are of course sitting in the plate. And that's basically what's tonight's meal. All the stuff that's in this plate, which really isn't a lot at all, is basically going to be enough for me to survive till tomorrow afternoon. Because I'm not eating breakfast because I'm not hungry. And I'm not eating lunch because I'm not hungry. And the biggest key on this diet that I've heard said so many times is you only eat when you're hungry. And once you satisfy that hunger, you don't have to eat until you're hungry again. Another thing I looked into that I noticed I was starting to do wrong too was we were drinking this drink that had ginger, turmeric, lemon, cinnamon, and some teas in it. And I started doing some research on the calorie content of each of those items, and I turned out, not calorie, what was in there for cholesterol. Sorry, not cholesterol, carbs, was a shocker. I thought this tea drink that we were having every day for lunch had no carbs in it. And it actually had almost 17 carbs in this one drink. And the maximum carbs that a human should consume a day, quote unquote, is 52. And I was right there. So, for a true carnivore diet, that drink unfortunately had to go. And it is what it is. So, those we ended up dumping down the sink yesterday as well. Sucked, but we were drinking those because it was helping with inflammation and immunity and stuff. But now we get that from here, plus the weight loss, the energy, and then some, which is really great. On top of other things so far, let's try to touch base on something else. Tried doing the bone marrow. Tried to take a sip of that. Woo! That thing was like drinking a bottle of liquid butter. So that's not going to work out. But you could use the bone marrow as a butter. So the way you do that, I think it's you put it in the oven, I think at 375 or something like that for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then it softens it up, and you can scoop it out, and you can use it like as a butter or as like a spread, so you can get that bone marrow intake. Because you should be taking that as a bone marrow intake. Drinking it as like a bottle of water, I think, is not the greatest idea. And speaking of water, that was the other thing before the end of this video. Is so normally, I drink coffee in the morning, water throughout my day, that juice that we were making, and then at night I was drinking beer. It's a lot of liquids throughout my whole day, right? So on the carnivore diet, this is where drinking comes into play again. So you could have coffee if you want to, as long as it's like 1 cup. Even though it's still a nut, it's just 1 cup and there's no carbs in it. Especially if you drink it black. If you drink it black, you're good. If you're drinking it with milk and creamer and sugar and shit, don't even waste your time trying to do this diet. You're never going to lose weight. You're just going to say the same fat fucking person you are, and you're just going to complain and say everything doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. You're the problem. And it took me to realize that the reason why I gained so much weight was because I was the problem. It wasn't society. It wasn't what I was eating and drinking. It was what I was consuming and how much of it I was consuming. 12 cans of beer on a Monday night and then do it again tomorrow ain't really the greatest idea. And being also, it's day 3 of being sober, which is great. And I haven't had any cravings for alcohol at all because I'm so focused on this that I have no cravings. So anyway, on the last point for the water goes along with the same thing as the food. You only drink water when you're thirsty. Don't sit there and drink water all damn day long, because then you're just going to turn into the Kool-Aid man. Just doesn't help. You don't need to drink water all day long. The only thing you really need to drink, ironically, is 4 of these a day. And that's it. That's plenty of water a day. So basically you're supposed to drink only, I think it's 6 ounces. I think, right? 6 or 8? It was 8 ounces. Sorry, 8 ounces of water 8 times a day or some shit like that. Right? Is that how I came up with? Yeah. It was 8. They said 8 times a day you should drink 8 ounces of water. This is the thing that I saw. Well, each of these bottles is 16 ounces, so you only need to drink 4 of these a day. Which doesn't seem like a lot of water, but I think today I finally was able to slow down, and I took a sip of water, and I didn't take another sip of water. I took a sip of water at let's say 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't take another sip of water until I got home. And I was actually able to survive from 1 p.m. all the way home, which wasn't until 5:30 without any sip of water. I wasn't dehydrated. I wasn't anything. So that means I was fully hydrated for that long period of time. And unfortunately, because it's in the vicinity of us, we grab it. Same thing with a beer. The beer was next to me. Got it, drink it. Got it, drink. I mean, I went to bars. I was the same way. By the time they pour me a glass or a cup or whatever, and by the time the bartender left me and went to the other side, I was already empty, looking for another one. It's in front of you. You're going to consume it. If it's not in front of you, you're not going to consume it. That's the feeling I get. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy my meal. Hope anybody that's watching, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'm going to do this throughout this whole event. What did I put on my meat? It was from bacon grease, that butter, a little bit of a pinch. So I literally took a pinch. Took a pinch of oregano, a pinch of basil, a pinch of rosemary, 10 pinches of salt and pepper. Put it on there with some bacon grease on my griddle. Cooked it until it was nice and medium rare. The reason why you want to do medium rare inside, see it's a little pink. Because as your meat rests, it's going to keep cooking. Biggest people do that screws up meat is they cook it until it's well done. And then as it rests on your plate, it gets hard. By the time you get to the last piece of meat, it's hard. Why is it hard? Because you overcooked it. You want to cook it to medium rare. It's going to literally sit there and cook the rest away. Now, of course, you might find some pink in the center of a big piece of meat. But we're carnivores. We're not, in the wild, we're not supposed to be, eating cooked food. Our ancestors, I'm talking back to the Native American days, yeah, they might have cooked it up a little bit, but they didn't cook it until it was like that, freaking turned into a hammer. They cooked it just enough so it was consumable. And my mouth is watering trying to talk to you guys, looking at this plate with steak and eggs and bacon. This bacon is great. I love a diet that I can eat bacon. Well, I'm one of those people that's going to weigh like 180 pounds again. Eating bacon and eggs and steak every night for dinner. And they're going to think I'm on some weird, bend over the toilet diet. So anyway, guys, see you tomorrow. Have a great one.